as they go onto the straight. Is he going to make it though? Into the hairpin as he goes right into that. He will make it stick as they now go into the first corner. Alex going back down the inside of Jacob into turn 2. This going into the next right and just past the stricken Aston Martin as Alex has made the overtake again from the straight, and he does as well. He goes left into that. Alex with the switchback of dreams, and he's made it work too. Jacob 2 places behind him, now on the run up to him now, trying to make the overtake, and he has made it. Jake, wow! And they now go down off the bridge. Jacob gets back in front onto the straight. Lights out, away we go here at the British Grand Prix at the Laysan International Airport Circuit as he ends running down to turn 1. We have Jacob taking the lead in front of Alex as they're now running down to turn 2. Here we have Alex overtaking Jacob going into turn 2, and he makes it happen as well. That's Alex in front of Jacob here in front of turn 3. Maybe turn 4 that is. They're inside of each other. Jacob's going to have to run on him going into the next corner. Alex is going to try and make the move literally up the inside, going into the DRS straight. Who will have DRS here? As Jacob's going to try and make the move now going up the straight, and he does as well. Lights out, away we go here in Greece as it's very sunny as we get going now. The Mercedes and the Racing Point really going at it now. Jacob has gone to the Mercedes team for a few races now as he was supposed to be with Aston Martin, but the game chose a Mercedes instead, so he's in a Mercedes. We're just going to ignore that though. Alex now really keeping up with him as the two Mercedes engine suppliers, really doing quite well there. Now going into the next corner, very good racing. This is a Jacob makes the overtake now. Going into that through the DRS zone now. Alex has got the DRS, catching up to Jacob using the ERS too. And he's got him down the straight, I think this is. And he has done as well. He's gone left there. Jacob gone very wide with a bad wing setup as he's now activating ERS halfway through the corner. The Williams there right in front as they're now running up to the next corner. Alex has made the overtake and he's actually managed to get it through as well, I think that was. And Jacob now going through again. Still losing out to Alex in the Racing Point there. As they now go through the right-hander, Jacob too just behind. As they're now going through the lefty. Now going to be riding with Jacob now, watching him play the catching game here with DRS. As we're going down the straight here towards the chicane that we've got to hope they take perfect or else they go off. And we'll probably be seeing someone going off there in this race. Whether it's someone in the race or someone not in the race, we'll have to see. As we now see Alex then very close behind the leader of this race in Roblox, and the Williams has gone off, I believe that was, and Alex is now technically in the lead, but he's still ahead of Jacob now, and he's going to be earning those 2 points towards his championship now, as Jacob still behind him, even in the Mercedes. That aero setup not doing very great for him, going through the DRS zone now. He's got the Williams right behind, as Alex then going very well through that corner, now through the lefty, going on lap 2 of 10. As we now see Jacob then being overtaken by the Williams. He's losing time to everybody, it seems. And he has really got to master the Mercedes. And he's really got to put on some better wings as well and maybe upgrade the car, as it seems. But Alex then going through the left-hander onto the double left-hander, sorry, onto the DRS straight now as there's the Williams right behind him. As Roblox is struggling. Now, through the chicane, we're going to have to watch very closely here as he takes it fine. And Jacob now. And he's over! I did say that would happen. Jacob is over at the chicane. As he's now hanging there like a cow, as a lot of people like to say, as he now crosses the line to start his third lap in front of, as we can see, that charging McLaren as we now ride with Alex then. Going down the straight, down the hill. Going left now into this long hander. Through the DRS zone now. Still chasing behind there as we go by the City of Thessaloniki sign. As now going through the left-hander, technically a double left-hander, maybe even a triple left-hander, as we now go down the straight. Jacob 13 seconds behind after that crash on lap 2. That may have ruined his chances of maybe saving his championship, as Alex then goes through the S, down the first straight. Down the back straight, going through the right-hander now. As we now ride with Jacob now, going through the long right-hander, down onto the straight that Alex was just on now, as he has actually been overtaken by that McLaren, I believe. Might not have been though, and he has been as well, as we're now going through that chicane. We're now going to be watching with Jacob now as he goes through the final few corners now onto the DRS straight there after the double left-hander. And he's pitting. He's pitting on lap 4 from the softs to probably the mediums to finish the race. As we're now with Alex on the mediums. He might have made a good decision as he's going to go from mediums to softs, I'm predicting then. On lap maybe 7 or 8, as Jacob's now going from softs to mediums. Maybe going for an undercut, a prolonged undercut on Alex. But at the moment he's 28.9 seconds behind on those medium tyres now. We've got to watch that pit exit because that is a sharp left-hander and he's hit the wall on the exit of the pit lane, which is only his fault as he's lost a little bit of time hitting the wall. So now riding on with Alex then, near the end of his lap actually, or near the middle of it actually, as he's going through a second sector now, through the final few corners onto the DRS straight, and he is almost about to lap Jacob here as he goes through the chicane, and Jacob now going down that DRS straight too, I believe this is. It's not a very long lap time. At best you can do a 1:13, at worst about a 1:26. And Alex then going through the first corner, not flipping at the chicane, as we're now with Jacob now halfway through, not even halfway through his lap, as he's most likely going to be overtaken by Alex as we see him there in the background, I believe that was, going now through that right-hander, and this could be race over early for Jacob, as when Alex makes that pit stop, he'll be about 20 seconds behind, and that is 20 seconds too far behind to get the win, as Alex will then be on newer tyres, and probably the softs as well, as Jacob now not going to be able to overtake Alex until at least later in the lap, as we now have 2 other people in the pits. Jacob taking that chicane very nicely there. Alex going quite slow there to let Jacob catch up, which is fine there. As Jacob now coming through this left-hander by the sausage curbs. Very long left-hander now. As Jacob has jumped 2 other drivers there, I believe that was, coming out of the pits. As he is now going down the hill now, on the charge for Alex, going over a bump in the road that seemed to be. It hasn't thrown him too far, of course, but I haven't seen that in action yet. As he's now going down the DRS straight, probably the final DRS straight, or maybe not, as they're now going through the left-hander. That's a very, very wide corner there, taken by Jacob, as the McLaren is steaming after him on those softs, trying to go to the end of the race on them. As Jacob now with the DRS on the ERS, on the straight and better top line speed, he's not going to get the McLaren again, as that seems to be. That does not seem to be Alex, that's another racing point there that Jacob is overtaking. Going very wide through there though. His wings definitely need a little bit of a change, as we're now going through the middle of the DRS zone now. Going through the chicane. Alex has taken that really well. So is Jacob though, as he goes through there now. Alex has continued racing as Jacob is now within a second of him, going through the first corner now. As we see Jacob going for the lunge. Does he make his stick? Yes, he does, and that's Jacob in first place. After being 40 seconds behind, he is now winning this Grand Prix, as Alex then goes for the move again, and he does not make it stick, as he now has the slipstream on the straight. Jacob messes up there because of the bump in the road, and Alex has made the overtake, but Jacob has got the position back, and so has Alex now. Jacob's now got the DRS, I believe this is, and the ERS, as he's now deploying as much as he can. So is Alex, going through this next little section of corners here, as they both go quite wide there. Alex going all 4 tyres off the track, I believe that was it. Jacob has made the overtake again. And that is now Jacob leading this race with Alex just behind, and Alex has gone through again in that corner. That's the amazing switchback there. And Jacob now on the hunt for Alex, as Alex seems to be pulling away a little bit. As Jacob's got the advantage on the straights, but he's got the disadvantage in the corners with the worst wings, with the worst wing setup, sorry, as Jacob's hit the wall and he's gone very wide there. And Alex now very much in the lead of this race. Jacob now with the DRS, sorry, without DRS, still coming after Alex, going through the chicane, jumping it, being slowed down. And that will be a corner cut, and that's a 2-second time penalty as well for Jacob, which he has just served, and he's just gotten out of serving, as he's now 5 seconds behind Alex, and he's going very slow through there. He has understeered so much through there, and he's now stopped the car, as, and I have no clue why. Alex still going, however, though, fighting with the other Mercedes, who is not Jacob. He's going over that bump. I don't know what's going on there, but something very drastic's going on there, as Alex has now been overtaken. And going onto the DRS straight, he's slowed down for Jacob, as I believe he's unplugged his TV again. As Alex now continuing with this race. And I think we're going to have to red flag the session there for a car being stationary on the track for prolonged periods of time. So we'll see you after the restart, I suppose. Hello and welcome back to the Greek Grand Prix here at Thessaloniki. As Alex is now controlling the race restart here. We have 2 laps left of play as we are now on board with Jacob for the race restart. And it's lights out, away we go, here at the Greek Grand Prix. Alex still in the lead of this race, using ERS there until the first corner. Jacob has made the overtake. Alex gets back in front though. Very good racing from those two now, as Jacob's now playing the catch-up game again on those medium tyres. They both had a chance to pit there in this red flag period, as are the real rules, as Jacob now catching up to Alex, using his ERS, both going over the bump, not going to be able to get in front, both braking rather early for that corner. Jacob spinning, he's almost lost it, but he's regained the car, so he is fine in the end, and he's catching up now. That was a really good save from Jacob there in the background, and I think he hasn't quit the race yet. He is still in this with 2 laps left to race. There's Alex now still in front, not by much though, as Jacob still closing him in on the about 1 minute newer tyres. As Alex now going through the S's, Jacob coming through the S's too. Alex sliding a little bit there, taking a lot of curb. Jacob now going through that double left-hander here, through the DRS zone. I think Jacob's DRS is broken for me because I can't see him using DRS, but he says he is, so I believe him. As we're now coming now through the chicane, Jacob cutting the corner but not being counted for it, as he took a lot of sausage curb there to be able to cut that. As Alex now through the first corner, Jacob through the first corner too on the last lap of the race. This is lap 10, as Alex now with the racing point, turning right there through the kind of U-turn. Jacob now not far behind. Is he going to be able to catch up to him though, is the question. Going down the hill now, using the bumps, going left now by the massive picture of the Greek flag, as Jacob now has DRS, has ERS. Alex also has ERS, doesn't have the advantage of using DRS though. Now Jacob going very deep into there, taking a lot of the outside of the track there. Probably should be penalised but won't be. There's Alex now taking a little bit of curb there, going through the corner. Jacob still close behind, still trying to catch up, but that gap is too far to bridge. There's Alex now coming through the S near the end of the lap, as he's now coming through the U-turn, through the double lefter, sorry, down through the DRS, and this is Jacob's last chance to be able to catch up there, as he's going left, and we'll be watching off board of him until the end of the lap. Actually, we won't be, as Alex comes across the line, and Jacob slipped in the background, and Alex has won the Greek Grand Prix here in Thessaloniki. And what a drama this has been, as Alex is now probably going to be doing some celebratory donuts there, going reverse, doing the donuts. Jacob in the background there, also doing donuts in his new Mercedes car. And Alex, I believe, has now mathematically won the World Drivers' Championship. So congratulations to Alex, and we'll see you in France for the French Grand Prix. Have a very good day, and goodbye.